It's Lefty. This is the Lefty Show.
Welcome, everybody, to the Lefty Show. Thank you, all of you. Excited to put on a nice show for you today. Thank you to everybody that's been supporting the Lefty Show. Episode number 3 we are on now. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy supporting the show this much. I really appreciate it. Everybody that's been on YouTube liking and favoriting and commenting and perhaps sharing. Everybody that's retweeting my tweets on Twitter. And I see all you guys that have linked your YouTube accounts to Twitter. And I see all the likes, and it's just great. It's great to see it, and I'm very happy to put on a show for you guys. And it's great to see that a lot of you are enjoying it, and I hope it continues. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe this is the apex right here, and now it's just all crap shit downhill from here, and it's just going to go down and down and down. It's going to get bad and worse, and oh my God, it's going to be awful. Who knows? Only time will tell. Only more episodes will tell. Lefty Show, episode number 3. Don't know how long today's episode is going to be. I want to pace myself because I got to do That's Not Why You Called later this evening, and it might just be Chiz and myself. Or not Chiz and myself, Chris and myself. I am the Dank and myself. Chiz is having internet issues. And I feel so bad for Chiz because a lot of the times his internet issues are really not at all his fault in any way. He's not trying to do too much and overloading his internet. He's not trying to upload too many videos or anything like that. Comcast in his area literally shuts him down at least once a week. Sometimes it happens during shows. That's not why you called. It's happened many times before. Sometimes it happens on the day of a show, like today, and he may not have internet for the show. And it's just, for all the shit Comcast gets, much of it deserved. For all the shit Comcast and ISPs like that get, again, much of it is deserved. I've never really had a big issue. I've had issues where, now, Comcast not giving me the effective speeds that I've paid for, the actual utilization of the speeds that I've paid for is a big deal. It's a big deal. When I was paying for 5010 and I was getting effectively about 25 down, 5.5, 6 up, that's a big issue. And the same applied whenever I got bumped up, I paid to bump up to the next tier or to the highest tier, and I still can only utilize about 55, 60% of my upstream at any one time. That's a big deal. But I still am connected to the internet. I can still, go over here, upload this video, watch that video, plant some trees, you know what I'm talking about. And I can still connect to the internet and do all the things that I do on the internet, just perhaps not to the level that I pay for. And again, not to the level that I pay for, I cannot understate, is still a pretty big deal. However, I'm still on the internet. Whereas Chiz, any given week, at any given time, sometimes multiple times a week, is just left without internet. Comcast just emails him. It's like, you're fucked today. Sorry. Go on about your business. And I've never had a serious, that big of an issue with Comcast. Because if I was paying for service and at least once a week, at least multiple times a month, let's say, I was getting emails saying, yeah, you're going to be down for an extended period of time. Whatever. Deal with it. Too bad. We're Comcast. Piss off. I would be pitchforks. There would be bricks thrown through windows of local Comcast because caveat emptor. I understand. And I understand buyer beware, and I understand that the internet is a very complicated thing, and even last mile service is a very complicated thing. Connecting to the internetworks that is the internet all over the world is a very complicated thing. I understand that. So stipulated. However, I'm paying for the fucking thing. When did we get to a point where it's unacceptable to question things and just accept it? It's hard, and it's not always going to work all the time, so just accept getting fucked. No. I'm paying for the fucking service. I'm paying for this. It better goddamn work. And I don't care what you have to do, Comcast. I don't care what you have to do to get the speeds that I pay for to my doorstep. And when did it become just acceptable? It says, well, it's in the contract. Just read it. Comcast reserves, if you actually go read any agreement you signed. It's called a contract of adhesion. And contracts are adhesive by their very nature. But a contract of adhesion, as my understanding is, they are viewed a little bit differently. They are when reviewed by a judge, they are supposed to be slanted towards the person who signs the contract, not to the person who originally wrote the contract, not to that party. There's supposed to be some kind of bias in reading the contract and whom is supposed to do what. And if any contract of adhesion you sign, you got a phone plan, your internet plan, your mortgage. And no, actually, your mortgage, you could probably negotiate more for your mortgage than other things. But let's see, what else? What are some other things that you pay for? Your Netflix user license agreement. If you buy any video game on Steam, read their end user license agreement. Go ahead and read it. Read it. Actually read it. Go through. Try to deal with the legalese. It's hard, trust me. But what you end up realizing very quickly is that you don't own a goddamn thing. You don't own a damn thing. If we were to actually read the contract and go through every single contract and adhere to every stipulation and every point and every subset, nobody would own a goddamn thing. T-Mobile, Verizon, Steam, Comcast, AT&T, they would own everything and be obligated to do nothing. You have to pay them money, and you're obligated to pay them. You bet your fucking sweet ass. You are obligated to pay them monthly. And their prices, and if you read some of these contracts, the prices, and they can try to guarantee you for the first 6 months of your service, whatever. No. They can on a whim say, yeah, this is what it is. These are the new prices. Fuck you, pay us. Fuck you, pay me. That was a great scene from Goodfellas. Oh, you had a fire? Fuck you, pay me. Oh, business not so good? Fuck you, pay me. That's what these contracts are. We can do whatever we want. Fuck you, pay us. Oh, but you want your service? Well, we're not obligated to provide service. There can be service interruptions at any time. We're not obligated to provide you service all the time, through these things, all the time, blah, blah, blah. We're not obligated to do shit, but fuck you, pay me. Steam can revoke any and every single game in your video game library. Any and every game in your library. They can revoke it. They can send a signal to the Steam client on your PC and uninstall the files for you without your consent at any time. Just say, fuck you. If you even dare try to return something, you buy it. I didn't want this. This is a bad purchase. This game sucked. They say, no, fuck you. Can't do it. If you're one of those unlucky bastards on Reddit that got trolled and somebody sent you a gift of a AAA game and you accepted it, and then they stopped payment on their credit card, they said that was an unwarranted charge, or they went to PayPal and did a chargeback, your account is immediately frozen. Frozen! Shut out! Closed out! Can't do anything! And that's all right there in the contract. It's all right there. So, on the one hand, yes, read your contracts. Read them. When I sign with a network, I read every fucking piece of that contract. But at the same time, am I really going to negotiate with fucking Twitch? I can't negotiate with Twitch. What am I going to do? Say, oh, well, you know what, Twitch? Subsection B, section 2.A, I would like for that language to kind of be tweaked to show this. Am I going to do that? Who's going to do that? Fucking Man vs. Game, Syndicate, killing it on Twitch right now. Probably not even able to do that. It's fuck you, do it. Take it or leave it. And at some point on a certain level, yes, read your contract so you understand what you're obligated to do, what you're not obligated to do, what they're kind of obligated to do or not obligated to do, and et cetera, and recourse and all those things. Yes. However, read your contract is not a universal stipulation. You can't just that's not a universal answer to somebody that is having trouble with a contract, with a service that they've contracted for. Well, read your contract. Well, no, man. Okay, Comcast reserved the right to my firstborn child in this contract. I read it and I signed it because what the fuck am I going to do? How am I going to negotiate with Comcast Internet? So now do they legally have a right to my firstborn child? Come on. So yes, the internet is a very, very complicated thing, connecting to it and bringing service to millions of people worldwide and making sure that service connects to the billions of nodes and computers and people all over the fucking world. Very complicated thing. And yes, language in the contract of be reasonable. I always fall back to be reasonable. Would it be reasonable for Comcast to say in legal terms, which obviously have to be they have to be unambiguous. They can't be ambiguous. They just have to be clear and succinct. But is it reasonable for Comcast to try to tell their subscribers, look, this is some really complicated shit we're giving to you. Now, we will take your money, and we are going to be stingy on refunds. We'll take your money and try to provide you the service. However, please understand, or please try to understand, that our own network sometimes acts in ways that we can't figure out. Sorry, I had a cough there. Our own network, in some ways, does things we don't understand. We've got to bring down our network sometimes. And there's just nothing we can do about it. And your service may be interrupted, and we're sorry about that, but it's just a fact of life. Sure, of course. Of course that's reasonable. Of course. However, when the service, when it is reliably down, when the downtime becomes reliable to a certain extent, then I say the read your contract or the out given by that language in the contract no longer holds water. Because no, Comcast, fuck you. At some point, I am paying for this service, and it's got to be here. I don't care otherwise, don't contract with me to give me the service. So, Chiz, I can empathize and commiserate on many levels when it comes to your internet issues, and it may just be hopefully he gets the internet back for That's Not Why You Called, going live this evening on Thursday. I guess I should give the date for every show I do. If this is going to be a multiple times a week show, I should probably give the date. It's May 1st, 2014, episode 3 of the Lefty Show, Friday. So we're going to be doing That's Not Why You Called tonight. May just be Chris and myself for an abbreviated show. Maybe Chiz will make it. We're not sure. May 1st. It's May, everybody. Woohoo! Closer to summer. I'm excited. I love the summer. You're rolling around with the windows down in a car. You get to play your music. Play it for everybody else at a stoplight. I've got good taste in music, okay? Trust me. I'm the best goddamn internet or intersection DJ that you've ever seen. So come, well, shit, it's still only 50 degrees in Chicago, and it's May 1st, so come, I don't know, late May, but hopefully by mid-June, be able to roll around with the windows down, blasting some music for the people. See, what else is going on in May? Oh, yeah, May in 10 days, actually. 10 days, it's going to be Mother's Day. So, kids, it's May 11th, okay? 10 days from now. So I'm gonna even open up my calendar. This is a service I provide for you. It is next Sunday, not this coming Sunday. Mother's Day is next Sunday, the 11th. So go out and get a card, scrape some pennies together if you got them, and go out and get your mother a nice card. And don't go. Here's my approach to card giving. Okay, I always go and try to find words that reflect how I feel. Not words that will make the recipient of the card feel nice and good. I go and I look at cards, and of course they're all just general bullshit, right? You know, it's like they're cold reading people that are buying cards. That's card writing 101. It's essentially that they're probably great at pretending to be having ESP or talking to the dead, or reading your palm and telling you the future. Gift card writers or holiday card writers are probably the best at doing things like that, because they can just write general things that everybody is kind of on board with and kind of feels, and they hopefully make good money doing it. But I try to find cards that reflect how I feel. And when I'm reading a card and I'm at the store on the day of the event, because come on, I mean, that's almost a time-honored tradition unto itself, right? Is the day of, you're like, oh, fucking shit, I gotta go, damn it. So you go and you get a card. I remember one time when I was a kid, my aunt and I share the same birthday, oddly enough. And my mom tells the story that on the day that I was born, my aunt was there screaming at her. I was born at 11 p.m. And she was screaming at her to pop me out so that her and I could share the same birthday. So I share the same birthday as my aunt, and when I was younger, we would all spend birthdays together. That whole side of my family. And I went the day of. It was my birthday, and I'm like, oh shit, it's my aunt's birthday too. Son of a bitch. So I go to the supermarket, and I'm in the card aisle, and there I see my aunt's boyfriend picking out a card for me. And he's sitting there, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and we both just crack a smile, because we know exactly why we're both there. I'm buying a card for his girlfriend, my aunt, and he was sent on a mission to buy the birthday card for me. And so he's just yeah, and I say, yeah, this is what it is. So going last minute is kind of a time-honored tradition. But I read cards, and I try to imagine saying them. And I think, would I say this to the person to whom I'm giving this card? Would I say this to my mom on Mother's Day? Would I say this to my dad on his birthday? Would I say this to my aunt on her birthday? Do I feel all these things on the inside? Now, of course, perhaps you feel the things that you're reading because you're reading them, and they are intentionally general, to the point where you're, sometimes people feel bad, yeah. Perhaps there's that. And at that point, you know what? If they're getting me, if Hallmark is getting me, I'm gotten. You got me. But I try to imagine that I'm trying to say the things I'm reading in the card. And what do I actually believe them, and would I say them? And that, I've found, is the greatest approach to card giving. Because anybody can just go in and find the sappiest bullshit. If the recipient is religious, you just go right to the religion section and you pick out the longest thing with the Matthew said unto the Jews, go forth and whatever, start banking or something. And anybody can go do that and play to those strings. Or play those strings on the recipient. However, I said, well, no, it's me. It's my card. My card is supposed to be representative of me. It's supposed to be my attempt at having a personal moment with somebody on a special day. And so when you go to buy a card for Mother's Day, which again is 10 days from now, I don't know how it's handled in the UK. I don't know if that's an international thing. I honestly don't know. But, hey, if you want to start it in the UK, you could probably get in the card business right now, start a card business, and just start right now, every year. You say, hey, it's Mother's Day now. It's time to go honor our mothers. And which is a good idea. It's not a bad idea. Honor your mothers, honor your fathers. Thank you, I love you. Or I'm appreciative of all that you've given me throughout the years, et cetera, et cetera. That's not a bad sentiment to have. And to whittle it all down and say, this day, on this specific day, we are going to honor our mothers. Or on this specific day, we are all going to take a moment and honor our fathers. And that's not necessarily bad. However, I can't help but feel that it's gone way too far. That it's gone just, I'm there's brunches all over the place. Everything shuts down. Everything becomes Mother's Day. Everything becomes Father's Day. Major League Baseball, they've got the pink bats, and then later in June or July, they've got the blue bats for Father's Day, and it happens again in the NFL for breast cancer awareness and all those things. It's everything Mother's Day, the original intent of honor your mothers, because fucking goddamn it, at the very least, they went through a long session of pain to deal with your ass and to make sure that you're fucking alive right now. That original intent has turned into just one big monetization fest. Everything is pink. Everything, you got to get cards. You got to get chocolate. Now you got to get roses. Well, now you got to go to the brunch. You got to get a card, chocolates, roses, and now you got to go to the fucking brunch. And you better have presents, motherfucker, because for some reason, all of a sudden, now we're giving gifts on Mother's Day. Apparently now it's Christmas for mothers. When did that happen? And so, great idea, gone a little bit too far. And it's not as, I'll give Mother's Day this, it's not as bullshit as Sweetest Day. Not as bullshit as Sweetest Day, which is just a bullshit. Hallmark said, well, we've got this month, that month, all these other months locked down. We've got Mother's Day, we've got Valentine's Day, Christmas is huge, but we need something else. We need something... some other day, we need something else to drive card sales and whatever else they had their fingers in at the time. So we need something like that. What do we need? Shit. Well, we've already got Honor Our Mothers. We've already got that. Well, shit. Well, we can't do another one. We've got Honor Our Fathers. All right. Honor Your Kids. Well, that's birthdays. We do birthdays really well. That's kind of an all year round background card selling deal. How about Honor Your Girlfriends and female loved ones? How about that? Because it's not strictly Mother's Day. It's not maternal. It's more of anybody you are in a relationship or with whom you're in a relationship. It is now time to show them love. And now time, because as if you don't fucking do that already. It's like Hallmark is saying, you are a piece of shit in your relationship. We are going to stop this and make sure that you're a good person to your loved one or to your significant other or to your girlfriend or boyfriend. And so we're assuming you're a piece of shit, but we're going to stop it and make sure you're good. So it's a lot of it's bullshit. You know, I'd say start with a card for Mother's Day. The go to the brunch, bring presents, all those things. I've got a hard time getting behind that. But bring a card and spend some time reading all the cards and trying to express yourself, not trying to play your mom's heartstrings, but trying to express yourself through a card. Apologies. I've got another cough. Sometimes when the seasons change, I have unusually large tonsils, I'm told. And while I was advised to, when I was a child, because I was prone to strep throat, I was advised to have them removed. But my dad stepped in and said no, because at the time there was a lot of research coming out apparently that your tonsils, I don't even know what they are, something in your throat, are pretty good cancer fighters. I don't know how, I don't know why, I've just been told that all my life. And so I never had my tonsils removed, and I found out later on that my tonsils are rather large. They're above average in terms of size. So my theory is that when the seasons start to change, and I'm not sick, but when the seasons start to change and my sinuses start going haywire, there's mucus that drips down the back of my throat and gets into my tonsils, and I start hacking and coughing like I smoke 3 packs a day for 35 years. But I don't. I'm not. I actually haven't smoked a cigar since the failed recording. God, what was that? A week and a half ago, I think. But it sucks. So if I periodically drop out and the microphone feed goes quiet for a while, that's just me trying to spare your ears the grossness of hacking. Ugh. So anyway, try to express yourself through your card on Mother's Day, and then take some time to write some nice words. Not just Happy Mother's Day, love, Billy. Hey, Mom, what's up? You're out. You're free. What's next? What's happening? What you gonna do? You got the money you owe us, motherfucker? But no, just, love you, Mom. really appreciative of this life that I live, this life that you helped give me. Express yourself. It's not just about your mom. It's trying to express yourself to your mother. So let's get into some news today on the Lefty Show. I've actually come prepared. Got a notepad all set up here. It's professional. We're going next level. There's going to be sound bites added to the Lefty Show coming up soon. I actually ordered it, released today, the Samsung Galaxy Tab 4. Not the Galaxy Tab Pro, because they're too expensive, and Katie would get mad at me if I got a better tablet than she had. So I got the Samsung Galaxy Tab 4. Or the Samsung Galaxy Tab 4 10.1 inch. It's hopefully going to be shipped by Amazon today. Might have it by tomorrow for PKA. But the Lefty Show soon will have sound bites, and perhaps, if I'm feeling spiffy, some interludes as well. So we're moving on up to the east side. Rob Ford, mayor of Toronto, Canada, of course. Rob Ford, the mayor of Canada, for those of you that don't know, has had some troubles in the past smoking crack cocaine. He was videotaped smoking crack cocaine, denied it for a while, denied it. Actually, apparently tried to sent out feelers trying to buy the video of him smoking crack cocaine. Never really happened. He had to come out and admit it. And somehow stayed mayor of fucking Toronto in midst of saying that he's going to come down hard on hard drugs in Toronto, going to get him out of there, and then is caught on tape smoking crack cocaine and somehow remains mayor. I don't know how. So anyway, still mayor of Toronto, caught smoking crack again. Allegedly. I got to say allegedly, I guess. No, you know what? Fuck allegedly. Fuck it. Fucking sue me, Rob Ford. Sue me and try to tell me in court, no, I, Rob Ford, who previously admitted to smoking crack cocaine multiple times, was this time not smoking crack cocaine at my sister's house. Bring it on, Rob Ford. Please don't bring it on. I don't have money for a legal defense fund. I'm not Adam Carolla. I can't. This is the crack troll. Adam Carolla's got the patent troll. I've got the crack troll in Rob Ford. He's come and sue my ass. But caught smoking crack again. Allegedly in his sister's house, there was a video taken, and there were stills of it posted online. I'm not sure as to whether the actual video is posted online. But what the fuck, man? Listen, Rob Ford, cease smoking crack cocaine. Cease smoking crack cocaine, you dumbass. This was a guy who is in a very powerful position. Toronto, one of the greatest cities in the world, metropolitan areas. It's a great city. Everybody that goes to Toronto pretty much loves Toronto. You got the Blue Jays, you've got the Maple Leafs, even though they kind of suck. And it's a nice, clean city. You can go there and hear people speaking French, and it gives it that air, even though I believe it's just north of Buffalo, I want to say. And it's a fantastic city, fantastic metropolitan area here. And Rob Ford is the mayor of this awesome place, and he got caught smoking crack once, right? So you get, oh fuck, man, I got caught smoking crack. What's the answer to this? To keep smoking fucking crack. What are you doing? You won the lottery, Rob Ford. You won the lottery. You came down hard, apparently, on drugs in Toronto. That was one of your platforms. A stepping stone of your political campaign is, I am going to get drugs out of Toronto. And you were caught and had to admit, after multiple times trying to dismiss the allegations and trying to buy the videotape, you had to admit that you were caught smoking hard-ass crack motherfucking cocaine. Crack cocaine. Crack cocaine is, some people say, you know what? Okay, so cocaine, what do? I snort it up, and I get really motivated, and I'm feeling my senses are heightened, and oh my goodness, I just want to do stuff. And then there was somebody that came along and said, that's not fucking good enough for me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to crystallize this shit, and then I'm going to smoke it. Fuck snorting it. I'm going to smoke it, and then it's going to be metabolized by my lungs, and then I'm going to get really motherfucking high. And that's what you were doing. And somehow you were able to retain your political position. You weren't ousted as mayor of Toronto. There was actually a vote, as I recall. People tried, and you conquered them. The people said, meh, a little crack cocaine. He's doing some other nice things. You got to appear on the Jimmy Kimmel show. Somehow you spun you smoking crack cocaine into, one, continuing to be the mayor of motherfucking Toronto, and number two, you got to show up on the Jimmy Kimmel show. You're a minor league celebrity now for being a fat guy smoking crack cocaine. And you keep doing it. That is the lottery. That's a lottery win, my friend. When you spin crack cocaine, hypocritical crack cocaine smoking into, I get to continue my political career and actually spin it into a little bit of celebrity, you won the lottery. You won. You're on easy street. You have all you have to do. The only thing you have to do. You are gilded. Nobody can touch you at that point. Smoking crack cocaine cannot unseat you from your office. The only thing you have to do is to not smoke crack cocaine anymore. And you still do it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Now, there is a flip side to this coin, because, like it was with Donald Sterling, this was allegedly, this most recent bout of crack cocaine smoking, which, if you're caught on tape smoking crack cocaine and you win the lottery as a political figure smoking crack, and you continue to smoke crack, those videos that exist of you smoking crack cocaine aren't the only instances of you smoking crack. You Rob Ford, probably smoke a lot of crack cocaine. But this allegedly took place in his sister's house. From the shots I saw, it looked like it was in a basement of some kind. Rob Ford, clearly with a pipe in his hands. A pipe that's used for only one thing. Head shops notwithstanding. For tobacco use only. Kiss my ass. Just say it. It's for pot. Or crack. Or whatever. Hashish. Anything. But clearly one of those decorative pipes used for smoking some kind of illicit substance. And with Rob Ford's history, it's not a stretch to believe it's crack cocaine. And we're now, again, here's a guy on his private time, hopefully he's not on the clock for the city of Toronto. But here's a guy in a private setting, a very private setting, and as hypocritical as it may seem, or as it is for somebody who is so anti-hard drugs to be caught smoking or consuming hard drugs, I understand that probably being the mayor of a major metropolitan area is a pretty big deal. It's probably pretty stressful. And so Rob Ford somehow discovered crack cocaine and decided, I kind of like this. I like this crack cocaine thing. I want to keep doing this. This helps me unwind. This makes me feel nice on the inside. And so he does it. And so as hypocritical as it is for him to smoke crack and be caught doing so, I can understand that that's his release. Like many people use alcohol. Many people use prayer. Many people use exercise or marijuana or anything else. People have a release from the day-to-day stresses of their lives, of their jobs, of their families, whatever. And this is probably one of Rob Ford's. Obviously, the other one, food. And I find it hard to vilify a guy who's just trying to get high. Crack is whack. It's bad. And probably people that are easily hooked on crack don't know, are completely unaware of what they are doing to themselves, and they cannot make an informed decision because they just, once it's in your stream, it's got you sometimes, I think. I don't know. Maybe there's not even science behind that. Who fucking knows? I have to question everything now. All this bullshit that's been coming out about marijuana that questions all the central tenets of DARE and all that shit of this is how bad pot is for you. It's a gateway drug. You're this more likely. It kills you. You can die. And now people are saying here, study after study after study in states that have legalized it for medical use or legalized it outright have said, no, that's not the case. And perhaps there's some of that with crack cocaine, although there's probably some concrete downsides. But it's a guy trying to get high. And on that level, remove the fact that it's crack cocaine for a moment, I find it hard to vilify somebody for that. More so, I find it hard to vilify somebody for trying to remove the stresses of their day-to-day life and enjoy themselves a little bit by getting high in a private setting in a family member's house, and they can't even do that without somebody recording them, videotaping them or taking pictures of them and then trying to sell it on the internet, and then, asshole libtards over at Gawker are for some reason really pissed off at you because the guy's trying to get fucking high. Hypocrisy notwithstanding, I stipulate to the hypocrisy, the guy's still trying to get high. And the question should not be, or the response should not be, fuck you, Rob Ford, you piece of shit. I'm going to try to here we come with our pitchforks, and we are going to remove you, and we are going to desecrate you, and we are going to just smash you into the fucking ground. Because fuck you, Rob Ford. It should be, holy shit, Rob Ford. What is your problem? Seriously, what is your problem? What can we do? What can be done to help you? Is there some program? Will you be willing to get help? Do you like smoking crack cocaine? Are you addicted to it? Are you aware of the fact that it may be hurting you and obviously shortening your lifespan? And given your weight, that's probably a lot more so than other people who smoke crack or smoke crack on the daily. Is there something we can do to help you? But no, everybody gets upset. Libtards come out and assholes on the internet start making fun of them, like me. But part of the Lefty show's ethos is to crack wise, and that's what I do. So deal with it. Informative and entertaining, and perhaps have a laugh or two along the way. It's in the damn charter. It's what we do here. I'm going to write a charter for the Lefty show, and it's going to be in there. Make fun of Rob Ford for smoking crack cocaine. And so on the one level, you can laugh at it, and fret not, Torontonians. No, it's Torrentino. That's a Blues Brothers reference. But fret not, I believe it's Torontonians. Rob Ford is essentially, there's a great video out of a mashup of Chris Farley movies that's supposed to be the Rob Ford story. And I found it on Reddit yesterday, and I watched it, and it is probably the greatest fucking thing in existence. This show is good. This mashup's better. It's a mashup of scenes from a Chris Farley movie in the sense and edited to make it look like it's a trailer for an upcoming film. And it's supposed to be the Rob Ford story, and it's Chris Farley or clips from Chris Farley movies, because Chris Farley's dead. He's dead. It's clips from Chris Farley movies edited to make it look like it's Rob Ford and to fitting in with the whole Rob Ford persona. And it's absolutely fantastic. But then I realized, Chris Farley was a big fat guy who liked himself some cocaine. And Rob Ford is a big fat guy who likes himself some cocaine. And not only does Rob Ford like himself some cocaine, unlike Chris Farley, his cocaine is cocaine on steroids. His cocaine is the nah, fuck that, I'm going to get super high and fucked up cocaine. And so fret not, Torontonians. Chris Farley was taken from us too soon. Rob Ford, if he continues down this path of smoking crack cocaine, will probably be leaving you guys in the not too distant future as well, because he apparently does not shy away from food and does not shy away from the crack pipe. However, jokes aside, is there any room anymore for somebody getting high, for somebody trying to release from the stresses? Alcohol, cigarettes, there's no room anymore. There's just not. We as a society are telling people, not even just people in political positions or positions of high power or in positions of business. We as a society are subversively telling people, I got to see if I use that word right. We are telling people, no, you cannot release from the day-to-day stresses of your life. You cannot use these things. I used it kind of right. I'll give myself a 50% on that one. A for effort, though. You cannot use these substances to just kind of forget bad things. You cannot do these things that we as a society have deemed to be bad. New York, today, New York's ban on e-cigarettes takes effect. This is from capitalnewyork.com. This is, quote, New Yorkers are no longer allowed to smoke electronic cigarettes in any place where smoking regular cigarettes is prohibited, including bars, restaurants, offices, parks, and beaches. Parks and beaches. And it goes on and on from Capital New York about the law that was enacted, et cetera, et cetera. So now, with no data, absolutely no data that I have found, I'm waiting for somebody to show me data on water vapor that may or may not have nicotine in it, and inhaling the whatever comes out of the lungs of somebody who is inhaling that water vapor and then exhaling it and metabolizing a bit that water vapor inside their lungs and then exhaling it. I am waiting for somebody to give me a study that says, oh yeah, well that's bad. That's how bad it is. But no, before all that, fuck that, can't do it. You can't. Never mind the fact that not all e-cigarettes have nicotine in them. Not all e-cigarettes contain class whatever the fuck carcinogens. And secondhand smoke classification as a carcinogen is still up for fucking debate. It is. Secondhand smoke, study after study has shown secondhand smoke does not increase, statistically speaking, your chances of developing lung cancer or any other kind of cancer. It doesn't. It fucking doesn't. But no, never mind all that. Fuck that, can't do it. In parks, has anybody ever been to a major metropolitan area? Not New York. I've been to Boston. I don't think I've ever been to New York. But I've been downtown Chicago. And I have to assume that downtown Chicago is in some ways on par with Manhattan. And if you walk down the street in a major metropolitan area, go drive to a rural or residential area and just walk down the road taking big, deep breaths. Then get in your car and drive to a major metropolitan area and go walk down the city streets of Chicago and take in big, deep breaths. You know that smell, that undeniable smell when you're in a major metropolitan area. It's a little bit of diesel fuel, diesel exhaust, a little bit of stanky stank from bums, and anything else. All the cars in the area spewing hydrocarbons. That smell, what the fuck do you think that is? Is it good? You think that's good for you? Is that acceptable? You accept it as environmental. You people walk down the streets every fucking day in Chicago, New York, Boston, L.A., all over the goddamn place, breathing in this shit. Just from cars alone, all the hydrocarbons, not to mention all the emissions from all the fucking buildings that have to be heated and cooled and whatnot and consume electricity and all that shit and generate garbage. All the garbage, it's fucking everywhere. But just the cars and the things that they produce. What do people think that is? But that's okay. But if you dare vaporize something and then expel it into the air in a fucking park, it's illegal. You have committed a crime. And you are going to be cited for that crime. What the I don't even care what you're exhaling. I don't care. The questions regarding secondhand smoke validity as a carcinogen notwithstanding, I don't fucking care what you're exhaling. If I don't like it and I don't want to experience it and I'm in a fucking park or I'm in a fucking beach, I walk the fuck away because it's my duty to take care of myself. My duty to take care of my own health care. People that argue that, oh, well, I have asthma. When I walk down the street, if somebody breathes in my face, I might. What you are essentially arguing, people, anybody that makes that argument, and I hope you understand this, what you are essentially arguing is that some motherfucker who has no idea who the fuck you are, and not a care in the world who the fuck you are, has a duty, has an undeniable duty to protect you. Not himself, not herself, but you. And not only do they have that duty is fiduciary. It is the highest duty of care that we have in society. They owe you that duty. And they are to place that duty above even themselves to protect you. A fiduciary duty to give a fuck about your health care in a fucking park. Yeah, they're assholes if they light up in a bar. If they light up in a bar or in an elevator I have no idea why somebody would be that much of an asshole. But if they do that and you say, hey man, did you put that out, please? Can you just wait until we can get somewhere where I have a reasonable opportunity to get the fuck away from you? Or you have a reasonable opportunity to get the fuck away from me? It works both ways. If you're in that kind of situation and they say, nah, well, then they're a fucking asshole. Yes, you do not have a right to be free from assholes. Take it from me. I make my bones on the internet. You do not have a right to be free from assholes, especially in an open air park or a motherfucking beach. Okay? It's sickening. It's sickening the not only the healthy, you gotta be healthy. Oh my God, that's bad. That's kind of good. Maybe that's good. It sounds good because it's organic. It's got only the ancient mild mule shit. Not only that, but now it is argued by people regularly that I owe a fiduciary duty to some motherfucker who I don't even know. I don't even know his name. I have no idea who the fuck he is, where he's going, what he's doing, what's his story. No idea, but I owe a fiduciary duty to protect his health care or to take an active part in his health care. And that's ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous. People are expecting others to weigh in and to take an active part in helping something that they have no interest in, no vested interest in, and no responsibility for. It's all over the place. President Obama. Oh, God. President Barack Obama, via a White House press aide. Now, here's the thing, okay? I understand that this story, it was a White House press release. It was a White House press aide, I believe, speaking on behalf of the president, saying the president thinks this about that issue, which is not the exact same as President Obama standing in front of a microphone and saying the words. It's not the exact same. However, I would argue that the president of the fucking United States of America should hold purview over everything that is said in his name by White House officials. It's his fucking house. He lives there. He lives and works there. He's a stay-at-home dad. He works from home. He should have control over what is said in his name. Because I guarantee you that press release could have been stopped by Obama. It could have been. Were he to think, no, I don't want to come out on this issue. I don't want to have any public say on this issue because who the fuck am I to say anything about it? Were he to think that, this press release would not have been given. This utterance would not have been made. So the fact that it was made tells me that he was aware of it and has the authority to stop it. And thus, it is him speaking. For all intents and purposes, it is him speaking. President Barack Obama, the President of the United States of America, has an on-the-record public stance on Donald Sterling being banned from the NBA. For those of you that don't know, Donald Sterling was caught on tape in private sharing his private thoughts with a romantic confidant in his own home, illegally recorded, saying racist things, now banned from the NBA for being a racist. And he's a business liability, and from a business standpoint, pure business argument, understandable completely. NBA bylaws, there's a secret constitution that he agreed to. All in the legal sense, all on the up and up probably. I will assume it is all on the up and up, and the guy is just a piece of shit. The guy's just he's a racist who commits acts of racism. I've covered that before. A racist who commits acts of racism. However, Barack Obama, in response to this tape, Barack Obama didn't say Donald Sterling has been committing racism for years, and it is good that he is now sowed his or rued the day and sowed his wheats or reaps what he sows. What the fuck? Who knows? He has now gotten what I believe he deserves for committing these acts of racism. No, this was Barack Obama speaking on somebody who was illegally recorded, and that recording was leaked and then was publicly shamed, publicly just desecrated and dismantled by angry anti-racists. And how dare you be anti-racism? And is now his life, he now has to live as a shut-in. If he has any public relations sense about him whatsoever, he is now out of the public eye for good, mostly in part because of these private thoughts shared with a romantic confidant. And Barack fucking Obama, the President of the United States of America, has something to say about it. I don't care that Barack Obama is black. I don't care. I do not care that Barack Obama is black. It does not matter in this sense. This is the NBA, a wholly private industry, and a wholly private citizen who was illegally recorded, illegally wiretapped, and the outcry against him because of that illegal wiretapping is simply amoral. It just is. Or is it immoral? I think amoral is just being without moral. Immoral is wrong. So it is completely immoral. And the President of the United States of America has something to say about it. Why the fuck does the President of the United States of America have something to say about this? Why is he saying anything? This is not... I don't care that he's a sports guy. He likes watching sports in his private time, whatever private time he has as the President of the United States. He likes doing all that stuff. He likes following the game. He especially likes basketball. Does not fucking matter. He is the president. Should not have a stance on this issue. Racial or not. Should not have a stance on this issue. Go do something else. Go do something else, Barack. Go close fucking Gitmo. Don't tell me what you think about a private citizen who is illegally wiretapped. And don't you dare tell me that, yeah, it's good that he got his comeuppance from that illegal wiretap. Fuck you. Go do something else. Go close Gitmo. Go. There are people that are work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, who still can't make ends meet because your fucking criminal friends on Wall Street have jerry-rigged the system, and you've allowed it, and you've even helped it, so that they can still work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, down to their fucking bones, working themselves into the grave, and they still can't make ends meet. And now they've got to have fucking health insurance, or they're going to get fined. And eventually it's going to be criminal. You watch. Everybody watch right now. I want to say it right now. Eventually, there is going to be somebody. I don't know who. I don't know when. There is going to be somebody put in jail. Or fuck, even arrested. I don't care about you. There is going to be somebody who is arrested by federal agents for not having health insurance. Okay? Just let that one sink in there for a bit. There's going to be somebody arrested for not having health insurance. Yeah. But no. B-Man's got to talk on Donald Sterling. B-Man's got this to say about this issue. I don't want that out of my president. I get he's charismatic. I understand that. He gives great speeches, and he's probably tremendous off the cuff. Tremendous. Just incredibly intelligent man, President Obama is. Now, if you'll notice, in different contexts here of this conversation, I've referred to President Obama as both President Obama and as Barack Obama without the title. And you can crack that code as you will. When he's a piece of shit, he's Barack Obama. You are defiling the office of the presidency. But when he's not, when we're talking about his credentials as the president, he is President Obama. President Obama, wholly intelligent man. Way more intelligent than I am. I don't want that as a president. I don't want a charismatic guy giving his hot sports takes on ESPN every year. He gives his March Madness ladder tournament thing. He does that spot on ESPN. I don't want him having beer in the South Lawn with the douchebag cop and the professor at Georgetown. I don't want him. I don't want him with his sleeves rolled up at a pub, that fucking have an upvote from Reddit. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want a president who is going to just, who would make a great president? The head coach of the Chicago Bulls, Tom Thibodeau. Not strictly because of his basketball acumen. And he probably would make a very shitty president because he doesn't have much to say about anything else. But because of his basketball acumen, because of just how he is like a solid rocket booster. You point it in the direction you kind of want it to go, Tom Thibodeau. You say, all right, here's your piece of shit team, Tom Thibodeau. Your job is to get this piece of shit to the NBA playoffs. Never mind you got your ass handed to you by the Washington Wizards. Your job is to get them to the playoffs. Your job is to make the most out of this pile of dung. And then like a solid rocket booster, you light it and you step back. And he just does it. And Tom Thibodeau most people regard him as a prick. But he's not really a prick because he doesn't do pressers. He's not a prick because he doesn't do photo ops and he's not out doing commercials, or he's not rubbing ass in the headquarters of the Chicago Bulls. It's because I think Tom Thibodeau is slightly autistic. I think he just doesn't get social cues. He's not a social creature, or he's less of a social creature than your normal person. His life revolves around basketball. His life revolves around turning shit into gold. And that's all he does. He goes into his office and he does it. He just does what he does. And he doesn't say hi to you. He doesn't thank you when you hold open the door, not because he's a jackass, but because he just doesn't understand those things because they aren't basketball. Because understanding those things wouldn't get him closer to his goal, his ultimate goal of turning shit into gold. I want that. I want that for a president. I want a president who isn't out kissing babies, who isn't out rubbing ass and glad-handing. I want a president who's he's like, I want my cabinet of these other geniuses, and we're going to go into the Oval Office, and we are going to sit in there for 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and we are just going to hammer this shit out. That's all we're going to do. The Secret Service, your job is really easy. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not rubbing ass on anybody. We are going to be in the White House or in the Pentagon or wherever else, and we are just going to be doing these things. I'm not gonna be nice to you. I'm not gonna be nice to the staff. It's not because I'm a jackass. I just don't understand those things because my life revolves around finance. My life revolves around civil law. My life revolves around public policy. My life revolves around foreign policy, all these things. You're going to give speeches, going to thank you when you hold open the door for me, you're saluting the Marines. Those don't matter to me. What matters to me is what I can do and what I can control in this office. And that's great. I guess I'm basically arguing that I want an autistic president. I think that's autism. Maybe it's Asperger's, but Asperger's is autism. I want an autistic president, I think, because I think he would be good. Or she, who gives a fuck? I think they would be great. An autistic president would be fantastic because they would just shut everything else off and focus on what they say they would do. There would be no, I'm going to close Gitmo, and then, yeah. There would be, I'm going to close Gitmo, and then first day, give me 3 pots of coffee, half a dozen Danishes, close the goddamn doors, and I'm going to give me the numbers to all the generals, and we're going to close that motherfucker today. And that's going to be my job for today. And that would be great. That's what I want from my president. I want an autistic president. If there's the first president, mark it down, first president that comes out is autistic, I'm going to probably vote for him or her. I'll do it. God, I hope that doesn't happen. But I would seriously consider doing it because fuck it. His or her life, their life is all about the mission, not about re-election. Their life is about the mission of the presidency, not about re-election and staying the president and remaining in the presidency. And some of you are going to say, well, that would make a shitty president. No, here's what you do. Here's what you do. It's perfect. You get an autistic president. Guy, girl, doesn't matter. They are the shut-in. They are the hobbit. They go into put them in the fucking basement of the White House. Who cares? Let them do their thing. They have all the plenipotentiary powers of the president, of the executive office of the United States of America. That's them. Go let them do their thing. And then you hire Rob Lowe as your vice president. And you give, like a codec from Metal Gear Solid. You give Rob Lowe a codec in his ear to the president, wherever he or she is in the White House, and then you send Rob Lowe off to go talk to everybody. You send Rob Lowe off to go talk to Putin. You send Rob Lowe to go off to talk to, give speeches and to make sure to quiet rabble-rousers. And you send Rob Lowe to be the face of the executive branch while the autistic president sits in his office or her office, whatever, and just does it and just gets it done. That's what I want from the president, not somebody who comes out as against the things said, the inner thoughts, because that is essentially what President Obama or Barack Obama was saying. It's good that Donald Sterling was punished for his inner thoughts. That's what he was saying, and that's a pretty damn big deal, especially when the President of the United States says it. When the President of the United States comes out and says, it's good that somebody was punished for their innermost thoughts, that's a pretty big hurdle to get over. This episode has been brought to you by nobody, because we don't have a sponsor as of yet, but I thank you guys for joining. We're going to bring this episode, number 3 of the Lefty Show, to a close. A good solid hour of entertainment. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if this is your first time here. Plenty more coming along the way. And on Thursday, the 1st of May, going to be That's Not Why You Called later this evening. Thank you guys for joining. I hope you enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.